Hello everybody, welcome to day 19, lesson 19. And as you've gone through all the different things about setting goals and using your imagination, today we're real happy that Rhonda's here with me, the love of my life. And I just want her to say hi to everybody. And a couple of years ago, I thought I would give her a nice Christmas gift, and she's Greek. So me and some high school friends, Tim had never nailed a nail before, and Charlie had never held up a board before, and we redid her whole basement, laid tile. Now, how does your Greek basement look now?
Absolutely stunning, beautiful, and gorgeous.
What part do you like the best?
Oh, the cave that you built.
We built a cave and fireplaces, and her nephews, when they come down from Cincinnati, they're twins or like 12 years old, and they run and hop in the cave. We have all kinds of Greek statues in there and a little playing machine so they can play. And then we got a big screen TV there. So in the wintertime, we can have a fireplace and we can sit there, a long couch, and she can lay on one end, I can lay on the other end, and we can just be warm and comfortable. Huh?
Absolutely, it's the best.
One other lesson I wanted to show about, I had never built a paver patio in my life. And I figured out the math, and in a previous lesson I was telling them, how much stuff did I have left over on the bricks?
Nothing. I don't know how your mind is so mathematically perfect. It was amazing, truly.
And when we go out to eat, before you can get your calculator out and do the tip, what happens?
You've already calculated it, and it's exactly to the penny.
And so we built some Greek statues, and out there, Greek columns, and we have the Parthenon being worked on, and we're going to put in some Greek things. But she is my why in life. Every day, I cannot thank God enough for her. And she is just so much fun. Everybody in the world who knows Rhonda loves her to death. She's absolutely one of the best people. And I tell her many, many times I wish my mom and dad were alive to meet her, because she's just fantastic, inspiration. She's the reason you want to study. Your Rhonda, your husband, your mom and dad, whoever it is, that's the reason, because your real richness in life is what you have with somebody else to share life with. And I told her, I said, I'm just going to live 38 more years and hang around to bother you for a long time, so we have a good time. We like to go to New York and things like that, and her Greek friends in New York, they all love to come out and go to plays with us and stuff. But thank you very much for coming by. Is there anything you want to tell everybody today?
You're the reason why.
The reason why. Thank you so much. And she's got to run to some appointments, and we'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
She's got surprises tonight. It's tomorrow's my birthday, so she said don't plan anything from Friday at 5 till Saturday or Sunday. You know, yeah, do whatever. So thank you, honey.
Thank you.
So I wanted to share that with you. Later on, if you come to one of the private events and you get to meet her, you'll understand why she's absolutely the best thing that I've ever ran across. Reminds me a lot of my grandmother and my mother. She loves the cats, the feral cats, and she takes care, and she has neutered and spayed like 25 or 30 of these things. So she's always been the one to take care of the little animals. And I think it's just amazing that my grandmother did that, my mom did that, and now the love of my life does that. So let's get into today's lesson. And today we want to, as we're writing this down, we want to give you some reading material that I think is fantastic. This book here, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is a great book. And if you're reading 350 words a minute, you're talking about 90,000 words, and you're going to be able to do this. If you do 15, 20 minutes a day, you're going to knock this out in about 10 days. The book that I always recommend, that I love to death, is Og Mandino. And the Og Mandino book is The World's Greatest Salesman by Og Mandino. This is The World's Greatest Salesman Part 2 that was 25 years later. But that was the book that I learned how to sell off of. The 10 Scrolls. It's a good story. It's about a 2-hour read, a 1-hour read for the people who's reading 400 words a minute. But there's 10 different principles in there. And Og Mandino was an alcoholic. And he was in a motel and he said, you know, I can't stand it anymore. Life sucks. And I'm just going to drink until I die. Going to commit suicide with alcohol. He passed out and he had the dream of the book. He writes the book, and Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel, who founded Amway, they ordered 50,000 of them from him. So he was off and running, one of the biggest sellers of all time. He has many, many more hits, and he quit drinking, and he's one of the top inspirational. And when you get to know Og, if you see anything about Og, and you see he was touched by the hand of the Lord, gave him the inspiration to all this. This book right here is unreal, fantastic book. I really can tell you, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And no matter where you go in life, start understanding you can do anything you want to do. You can accomplish anything that you want. And a lot of these things about making money, it's about making your life wealthy. And it's not how many dollars you have in the bank, it's how many happy things you have in your life. So people who think about business success, they have certain principles. And they transfer those principles to their life. The greatest book of all time, in my opinion, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. This is him in the 30s, and he's around the Carnegies, the Vanderbilts, and he's interviewing all these super successful people who built America, and he found out that all these people had certain traits in common. This is probably one of the greatest books. I suggest you buy this, read this every January for the rest of your life. When it's going to be a snowy day and work's canceled or whatever, you can read this in just a few hours, but this is the principles that you can build a super life by. Napoleon Hill. Highly recommend that book. Crushing It. Gary. This is an unbelievably great book. All these, I have at my house probably 500 books. Every week it's a different one, every month a different one. I stay up to date on everything. The 10X Rule, fantastic book. I would start with the Og Mandino and Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I love this book here, The $1 Million Day. And, it goes into one thing. If you knew you only had one day left to live, what would you do? If you think about that, you would want to maybe leave a message for your kids or your grandkids, or shoot a video, or make sure your wife's okay, or plan out some stuff. If you go through every day like it's the first day of the rest of your life, you take on a new essence of, today I'm going to make it a great day. I only got one day. I'm going to make it a happy one. So this is a great, great book. The Power of Habit. We talked about habits, how you acquire new habits. One of the things we talked about yesterday is if you like chocolate and you just love Hershey's chocolate, get a Hershey's candy bar. If you want to eat a half of it or all of it, put it in the refrigerator. And after you finish your coffee, you do your reading lesson and you do your homework, say, hey, I did my morning reading, I'm going to have half my candy bar. And your mind pretty soon will say, I need that morning reading, I need that morning. It becomes a habit. It's easy to piggyback off of another habit. You're there drinking the coffee anyway, and you might as well make something out of it. I do have a few of these different ones. It's written a little differently. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. They do have different collector pieces. I don't know what you can say about daring creativity. If you don't learn anything else, and daring greatly, we always tell you, you can be anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. Education is the way. Have fun at school today. I'll leave you with, we only have a couple of lessons left, that you now have a new skill. Make sure when you turn today's lesson off, those that want to seek the opportunity of learning the first 4 modules, I would suggest as soon as the last lesson comes, pop up and say, okay, I want course number 2, advancing your memory. So much in there about how we take and do things as far as habits, memory, how you can acquire more ingrainedness what's in there. We show you so much information. It's highly step by step. That's why you have to learn to read first. We have to teach the mind to read, then we're going to teach the mind to process. But for those that are interested and want to pursue this as a career, you need to learn the first 4 different modules. The third one is all about meditation, so that you can teach it. And the fourth one is how to have the ultimate edge in life. How to have your why. How to find your why. How to give everything you have to how you live your life in a good manner. So let's review what we've learned. And we know that we've established a new word per minute rate many times over the last 18 days. We ask you at the beginning to judge by the results, to keep an open mind. Nobody has all the answers. But if I want to learn how to do something, I want to learn from somebody who had to rebuild his mind. Not somebody who's a professor at college and never applied it and just says, here's how to do something. This has actually been tested. It took 40 years for me to learn all these things, and now we're sharing it with you guys. We also learned that knowledge is potential power. When you act upon that knowledge and you work on that knowledge, then you have power. We know that colors, the whole book's in color, stimulates the mind. In marketing and sales all over the country, I do all kinds of ads, and I do marketing displays and colors. We'll get into the psychological why different colors are what they are. But we know that everybody knows green is go because green's the color of a red light and red is stop. So the mind is drawn to green and red, green and red. We know that people love green because it's the color of money. We know that the grass is colored green. We know the sky is blue. So there are certain things that we've been exposed to. We know that practice makes progress. We learn to use the visual pointer and load it into our imaginary finger here. Now, you have different nerves and leaders and tendons. Still using it like this, we always say like this. There is a difference. Because these here, sometimes if you have a kink in your back, you might go to a chiropractor and they might put needles in your elbow because you have a little tension in your back where the nerve's in. So there are reasons. Everything we do, there's some technical reasons, and we get more into that in chapters 2 and 3, or modules 2 and 3. We taught you how to improve your posture, to breathe better, to breathe from the diaphragm, to tilt your book, to drink your water, to use your peripheral vision. Learn how to do the 4, 3, 2, 1 growing exercise. We learn about eye fixations, read in groups of words. How to use the opposite hand is a visual pointer. How to do your celebration freedom dance as you're freeing yourself from the shackles that's kept you at a certain level your whole life, where you're getting rid of anything in your life that's hurt you. You're repairing your brain so you can move forward. We taught you how to get fired up, how to get excited, how to do quad mapping. So if you get into more sophisticated things in college, you would need to know how to read technical information, quad mapping. This lets you comprehend better. How to change your habits by piggybacking off of other habits. How your brain needs a brain break. I call it yoga break. Put a little water into your your lemon or a little lemon in your water as we go back and forth. But there's more information in the written version, but there's some good things about lemon and water. We taught you how to ask better questions and everything. I hope that when you go through your life, in all circumstances, you start asking better questions. Remember, words can hurt. Remember the story about the little boy that was 5 years old and his daddy was getting laid off and had bills, and what he said to the kid? There's going to be a children's version of this come out in a few months, and for anybody who has a 3rd, 4th, 5th grader or a teenager in high school, there's 2 different versions coming out. But certainly look at those versions because it shows you a lot of mistakes. While everybody wants their kids to have a better life, we don't know how. Most families, the man and the woman, both have to work to make ends meet. And who's there to raise the kids? Electronic games, where they find their love, their appreciation, and their friends. So this really breaks down to, if you are a doctor and your husband's an attorney, how you manage your life and your time, because your biggest responsibility you'll ever have is to those children. You want to become really good, productive kids. And you want them to do things for you because they love you. Now, my mom helped me a lot, my grandmother helped me a lot, my father helped me a lot when I couldn't do things physically. But as I got over different things, anything my mom or dad would ask me to do, I simply did because I wanted them to be proud of me. I seen my mom sit on her hands and knees and pray all night long that my thumb would be okay. I seen my mom and dad, and to tell you one quick story about love, when I cut my thumb off, I was 15 years old. I had asked for a Pleasure Ridge Park leather jacket for Christmas. My mom said, this is back in 1971, and they're like, that's way too expensive. A real leather jacket like that was $60. My dad only made $40 a week or $50 a week at BF Goodrich after taxes, and he cut out a $10 bond every week to save some money. Their house, they built brand new when I was in the 3rd grade, was $16,500. Now that same house is $300,000, maybe $4 now in PRP. When I cut my thumb off, nobody was home. I ran next door, and Bobby saved my life, paramedic next door. They operated on me. They told my mother and father 11 hours later, we don't know if it'll take. And I told them, I said, I want to go home. I want to go home. They took me home, and they gave me some type of pain pills or something. That's December 23rd at 3:30 when I cut my thumb. I wake up, my dad, wake up, it's Christmas morning. I'm like, what? Yeah, you kind of been out of it about 30-something hours. It's Christmas morning. Let's get you up and take you in there to the dining room table and let's do Christmas. Well, I opened up a Christmas gift, and it was an Indian bead kit. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to make Indian jewelry now because I couldn't do the beads with both hands, you know. And I opened up the gift in my left hand. My mom helped me, and it was a pair of blue jeans. I said, thank y'all very much. I'm kind of tired. I want to go back to bed. And my dad said, well, there's one more gift that we have for you. I went and got it out of the closet. And I said, can you open it up for me? I'm having a hard time. It's in a lot of pain here. He said, yeah. It's a new PRP jacket, a leather jacket. And he put it on me, put one arm through, this arm's in a cast, and put it over there and passed the top button. He said, well, how do you like your jacket? I said, I like it just fine, Dad. And I noticed my mom and Dad didn't have a Christmas present under the tree. I knew what they did. So when they took me back to the bedroom, I asked my mom, why? Why for me? She said, that's what mommies and daddies do, because they love you. And when I got okay, it stayed with me. They gave up their Christmas gifts to each other to give me something more. So I said right then when I was going to sleep, I'll always make them proud of me. That's what love is. So through the course, you have a chance to grow in a lot of areas. You want your kids to do things for you because they love you. There's a whole course on getting the ultimate edge in life. It's one of the best things you can ever do for your family and your entire life. We also learned many other things, how to do capture and create notes. Make your own list of what you learned. And if you don't mind, send an email to ryanneedham@nowsthetime.com. Let me know how this affected you. Let me know if you want to be one of the ones that want to take all 4 courses. Maybe you want to take them and just grow your life. Or maybe you want to take them because you're so inspired you want to be one of the 1,000 or one of the 10,000 teachers that's going to do this all over the world and change lives. You're always going to look at the price. You're never going to find anything with this much attention. This is not something that's serious. I didn't have anything left on the left side of my brain. If I hadn't have been able to do things with that other hand, I'd still been in a hospital. This stuff works. I proved it. And now it's time to show you what I can do for your life. So tonight, we want you to celebrate, look at some of these things that I painted. If I want to do anything, I read how to do it. I didn't know how to build a basement, but if you look at it, I mean, all our Greek friends come over and said, who in the world dreamed of building this giant cave? And it's got Coronado stone on it, and I built the thing, and I put a mattress on it, and I framed it all in to where this fits perfect. And everybody just said, man, this is so cool. I've got Pegasus flying out of the wall. Through all these things, understand, now is the time for you to make your life better. Don't forget, emotion sells. It sells yourself deeper to do more. And I can tell you, if I can do this, then anybody can do this. So today, let's get fired up, get excited, and play a song. And I think I'm going to play this song that I heard a long time ago by Gloria Gaynor. And my mom used to always tell me this too will pass. Okay, Google YouTube, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. And I got to tell you, pick out your song, listen to it, get motivated. Whatever you've been through, whatever your hurts are, it's the past. You don't live in the past, you live today. You do things today so tomorrow you have a future. Not like your past, but full of love, full of creation, full of freedom, where you can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. You can go anywhere you want to in this world. You live in America, folks. You got the chance, you got the shot to really achieve what you want. Time to put all those hard things away. Time to get over them. They're not going to hold you down in the future. It doesn't matter where you are. You can improve. You can do anything you want. Not I will survive. So you have a great day, a fantastic day. See you tomorrow.